Hello, hello. Great, beautiful, blessed evening. I should be. Okay, here we are. Hi. Welcome back to another episode of Happily Healed with Tennille. And I am Tennille. I am your host. If you've never met me, my name is Tennille, like I said, and I help women who've been diagnosed with lupus go from confused and discouraged to healed, hopeful, and in control of the medical narrative. And we are celebrating Lupus Awareness Month by doing a mini-sode every day where I give a little fact, give a little hope, give a little information. And today we will be talking about medications and side effects of lupus medications. I've been on a lot of medications. That have been really, really harsh on body and mind. It takes a toll. I have a lot of reasons that I'm not on medication now, but I do not shame anyone who's on medication. Medication is necessary sometimes. And, I'm just not a believer of staying on medication forever if it's at all possible. Like, not if it's not as comfortable, if it is at all possible, I would say get yourself off of as much medication as you can. So side effects of medication vary so widely. And me, personally, I read the whole pamphlet. I Google, I research, I make sure I understand what I'm going to be putting in my body. In the beginning, I just took whatever they gave me and took it as law, as like, this is what I have to take. And that was, it was a double-edged sword, because a lot of the times for the short term, in the beginning, you feel better. Like, prednisone felt like a miracle drug. I thought once they gave me prednisone, like I was good. I was done. And what ended up making me not want to take medication anymore is that same drug, is prednisone. And then prednisone is one of the cheapest drugs that they give to kind of across the board lupus patients. Other people take it, and some of the side effects are insane. The most well-known side effect is the moon face. So at some points in pictures, you'll see that my body is very skinny, but my head and my face is super round and chubby. It's prednisone face. I can look at anyone that's on a high dose of prednisone and tell right away that it's prednisone face and not their actual regular look to them. It is just it's a common side effect. Nobody really cares too much about it, but there are so many other side effects that they don't tell you about. One of them is mood swings. So in general, people can be way more angry when they are sick. If you are in constant pain and you're just managing and coping, you sometimes don't realize that you're very angry and very much bracing yourself all the time. I've said it a million times. You never realize how bad you're feeling until the first time you feel good. And that is very true about getting off of a large amount of medications at once. I really didn't understand that, like, I was in so much pain at the time that I always kind of was like bracing myself for this pain, bracing myself for impact, and the pain was going to get worse or better. Or like when I woke up in the morning, before I even opened my eyes, I was kind of feeling my body to see if, taking an assessment of my head to toe, what's going to hurt today? Like, what is not going to be able to be used today? Can I bend this? Like, before I even did anything at all or decided I was going to have a good day, I was depending on what does my body feel like first. So when you're on a lot of numbing medications or medications that make you feel a certain way, and you have a high amount of pain chronically, it will affect your mood. Prednisone affects your mood. It also affects you emotionally because it's going to change your body. So sometimes it's not only the moon face. It literally says to avoid highly processed starchy foods, carbohydrates, highly processed carbohydrates, and sugars. However, prednisone genuinely makes you crave sugar and salt. So, excuse me, sugar and salt. So it's going to help you retain even more water than what prednisone will already do on its own, which is a crazy mind trick that, like, why would you, like, they know that it's going to do that, but they're like, don't indulge in the exact thing that it's going to make you crave, which is, I mean, it can be impossible. The more prednisone they put you on, the puffier you get, the more you crave things that are going to make you retain more water. It's a never ending cycle. Um, and I'll just say there are way more side effects that people don't talk about. There's teeth uh, decaying, rotting, like your the calcium. You need to take way more calcium when you are on prednisone. And I was on prednisone for like 10 years. Like I understand how it could really feel like it's saving your life immediately. You can go from feeling really, really terrible and take it one dose and feel immediately a little bit better. And that is such a miracle when you are feeling very, very bad. So another medication, I took so many. And right now, infusions are all the rage. Everyone's on some kind of infusion. At least you got to try an infusion. I haven't tried any of them. However, I have so many friends that are on different kinds of infusions, Benlysta, and these kind of things, and it affects everybody's body differently. Cellcept was one that I was on, and I've met a few people. Crazy cycle of purgatory. Yep, it is, really is. I've met a few people recently that were on Cellcept, and back in my day, in my baby lupus years, when people would hear I was on Cellcept, they'd be like, "Oh, that's for cancer patients." But now they're giving chemotherapy to lupus patients, so it's not really that much of a difference in the treatments, which is terrifying because if you don't know anything about chemo, it kills everything, 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 everything. And then it's up to you to rebuild all of those things healthfully. And you're at such a high risk of infection during the time that you're waiting for it to be rebuilt, right? So chemotherapy, that is drugs that the side effects are insane. Extreme nausea, extreme fatigue, like just feeling overall terrible. But that is also lupus treatment. Cellcept that I was on, I remember one of the main reasons that I got off of all medication and went into remission for 2 years, I was working at Applebee's. Applebee's definitely paid my bills, and I was so grateful to make money that I did there. I was a waitress. And I I was taking Cellcept twice a day. And with Cellcept, you can't eat or drink, or you can't eat 2 hours before or 2 hours or after, something like that. Like there's hours in between that you have to calculate, right? And I'm in my like early to mid 20s, and I, want to go out and do stuff with my friends, and I have to calculate, like, oh, like I can't eat this time. Like if I go with them, I won't be able to eat then. But oh, maybe if I can we change it to this time? Like it was already annoying. I already didn't like it. Then the pill itself, I didn't find out, so my insurance went out. The pill itself was $150 per pill without insurance. When my insurance messed up. I was a waitress. I was taking other medications. They were mostly inexpensive. Two pills a day, $150 a day. I was working doubles because my parents would, definitely help me out. And they did, because I did not always make the mark. However, I wanted to be independent. I wanted to do stuff for myself. I made friends with the pharmacist and stuff because I was there crying and all kinds of things. Him and his mom, geez, like going to work, because it was walking distance, like 2 parking lots between the pharmacy and my job. Going to work, working the morning shift, making that $150, going directly to the pharmacy, giving them that money so I could have my pill for the day. Not the day, the morning. And then for the night shift, I would be making sure I would get to the pharmacy before they close because my shift was longer. So, everyone take a smoke break. I would take a break to go walk across the street and buy my second dose of Cellcept. I don't know how much it costs now. I have, this was years ago, the early 2000s. But that was so stressful. I Once I started getting sicker, I probably from the stress, I said, I will never take that pill again, and I'm not paying for it. And then that was part of the research that I had to do when I started going to a really crazy flare up. That made it so I went into remission for a couple of years because I just I was not okay with spending every cent I had. I had a car payment at that time. I had, I don't know, wanted to eat. It was just like I was so sad and so scared and so like all these pills they tell you also like don't abruptly get off of because it could stop your heart. Prednisone, if you are on a high enough dosage, I think it's over 10. If you're on a high enough dosage and then you stop taking it abruptly, you could go into a heart failure. And that was always in my head. Like the stress of not being able to afford this medication scared the crap out of me. Like I I didn't know much about anything when, in the early days of lupus. I didn't do as much research. I wasn't really sure like how it would affect me. So I just did whatever my doctor said because, they get paid to do this. So I'm figuring they know what they're talking about. No one told me that if you take medication at the same exact time every day, it will work better. No one told me if you're eating cleaner, if you are, taking very good care of your body, drinking water, or have the right amount of fat in in your diet, that certain pills will work better. No one told me that. It took research. It took life experience. It took feeling so terrible that I was like, something has to be wrong, and I got to figure out how to get off of these things. So all of these medications that you're taking, be sure that it's actually the lupus bothering you and not the side effects from the medication. Take these medications properly, research what you should be doing in order for that medication to work at its full potential. Because if your body is prepared to accept that medication at its full potential, you will get the full benefit and you might not have to take as much as you're taking. It's very important to understand the medication you're taking, not just take it blindly. Handfuls of pills. I can to this day take 5 or better pills at once from doing it for years. And I don't want that for anybody. Like you don't need that. You don't need that. They over medicate so that they just cover the bases. And I'm not saying anyone is doing this maliciously. I am saying you are in control of the medication you take. Don't let them scare you into taking anything. There are side effects, long-term side effects. If they think that you should just stay on something for 20 plus years, your body forgets. Your body forgets how to function without this medication that you've been taking. So, look at me. I want these medications to work for you properly. Please. If you are not doing your research, do your research. Book a call with me. We'll go over your full medication and see what you're doing that you could do better. Link is in Instagram bio. DM me. I'm completely fine with helping anybody who needs help to figure out their medications. You could be doing so much better and you don't even know it. So I had to get real serious on you right there. That it's something I'm passionate about. There's no reason for you to be spending thousands. What I said the budget was on the low, the budget for a lupus patient, $13,000 just to survive. That doesn't talk about food. That doesn't talk about shelter. That is just medical care. $13,000 a year for on the low, up to $68,000 a year. You don't need all those medications. You don't. But anyways, medication side effects. Thank you so much for joining me. This one ran a little bit long, but I really appreciate you being here tonight. And you'll catch me tomorrow, Saturday. And guess what tomorrow is, y'all? World Lupus Day. Woo! Yes. Okay. So throw your L's up. Yes. World Lupus Day. I'm excited. We will have hosts and we'll have celebration and we will talk about the history of that. So come back tomorrow and, hit me up so we can talk about these meds if we need to. All right. All right, Lupies. Have a great night. Bye.